It's Chick Fight meets Over the Top on Film Threat Reviews. I'm Alan Ning. I was Zorianna Kit, and today we review Golden Arm. Be sure to hit that like button. Do us a favor and help support independent films that way, and Film Threat for that matter. All right, so a tough lady trucker trains her wimpy best friend to compete in the National Ladies Arm Wrestling Competition. Directed by Maureen Bharoocha, stars Mary Holland, Betsy Sodaro, and Dot Marie Jones. Do you remember Chick Fight? This kind of has a similar vibe to it. What did you think of Golden Arm?
No, it doesn't have a similar vibe to Chick Fight. As you recall, I hated Chick Fight. I even said it was...
we both hated Chick Fight.
I said it was like a contender for Razzie, and it was just an affront to like women. It was terrible. This movie is delightful. I mean, this movie was such a joy to watch. I personally believe it's like a cult movie in the making. Like it can be a cult film like Harold and Kumar or Animal House, because it really has this. It's spectacular. It's got so much heart. It's technically a sports movie, but it really isn't. It's a movie about female friendship at the end of the day, and it has like a road trip vibe. What did you say it was at the beginning? You said Chick Fight meets Over the Top.
Over the Top, yeah.
So I would characterize it a little differently. To me, it had shades of Bridesmaids in that our two leads, who are played by, let me say, Mary Holland and Betsy Sodaro. Yeah. And to me, they reminded me of like the dynamics between Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy in Bridesmaids. And at the same time, it had, I'm looking at my notes here, it also had this girl empowerment feeling that the Netflix series Glow had. Mm-hmm. So to me, those are my comparisons. I loved this movie. What did you think?
Yeah, it's when it was presented to me. I saw this at South by Southwest last year, and it was kind of like, okay, I'm in the mood for a comedy. Found Golden Arm, female arm wrestlers. Yeah, I was just like had very low expectations, and to my surprise, it was a very solid film. And I don't think I liked it as much as you did. I mean, it was like at the end of it, it was like, I like this, but I wish it had said something more. I felt like the story, I'm kind of between. It's such a well-told story. It's so solid. The great acting. It moves along great. I liked it, but I wish it was a little more elevated in terms of its messaging, and and that's kind of, I felt like it's good, solid, but I wanted more.
It's an indie film. It doesn't, maybe if it had more money and a studio behind it, it could have done more. But I think for what it was and this heartfelt message, it's a love story, but it's a platonic love story between our two leads, who, by the way, I think are just going to go on and just do amazing things. Yeah. I think this is, they're working actresses already, but this is going to, put them in a whole other stratosphere.
Yeah. Mary Holland had Holiday. I think that was actually her movie. She produced it and was very much behind it. Yeah. And that's a Netflix movie right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought it was great. I loved all the different characters. I loved how our lead goes from being this kind of meek, almost like prissy girl, and then by the end has found her inner strength. It's all about finding your power. And that's what this movie exemplified by using such an external powerful thing as arm wrestling. And gosh, our two leads, they're so different, yet you truly believe in this friendship. You truly believe that these characters would be friends. And the one really does have that sort of, Melissa McCarthy vibe. She's in your face. She's just, making all those snide remarks. Mm-hmm. And then you've got the other one who's just like, her comedic timing is so subtle and so just like, it's the little things that her character does, like right before an arm wrestling match. You know, she wants to know where she can hang up her purse, and is there like a little purse hook for her purse? And it's just these little innocuous things like that I just thought were so brilliant. Like, if you don't have a lot of money for your film, you know, you can pepper it with these amazing little one-liners here and there, and it just is great.
Yeah, I would add to what you just said. The supporting cast is just as amazing. Dot Marie Jones, you know, I loved her from Glee, and she's just as good. You know, it's a very different yet similar character to Glee. And then Kate Flannery makes a good cameo in there.
From The Office, yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I will say this. You know, yes, it has a very female woman empowerment theme to it. You know, and I'll get back to the story in the sense of, you know, I kind of expected that, and I don't know what it is. I just wish it had been elevated. You know, it is an indie film, but I'm not sure that money was the issue. There was something that really needed to be at the heart of it that is unique, that sets it apart from other films like this. And I just didn't see it there. And so I wouldn't say I straddle the line of recommendation. It's a definite recommendation. It's just, you know, I wanted something to just really say, this is the reason to see it, apart from great performances.
Well, I don't know what reason you were looking for, or what you felt was missing, because the reason for me was, these are two lifelong friends, and they're both in very different places in their lives, and they come together. By doing so, they not only make the other a better person, but they themselves become better at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean,
the message.
Yeah, right there, you described every friendship movie out there.
Yes, but is it set against the background of wrestling?
Of arm wrestling. I've seen wrestling ones. I've not seen arm wrestling ones. Even Over the Top doesn't quite hit those heights. But you know, I think it. You know, I kept thinking to myself, well, what is it? What could have been added to their story?
Yeah. What?
And I struggle with that, and you know. It's easy for a critic to say, well, I wish I'd had this, but there's the execution, and I'll grant it. I'm not sure what could have been added, but there was just something in me that was like, oh, there's just something brilliant that makes me want to really remember the story, at least. So
if you think about Animal House, what makes that movie brilliant for you?
Oh, Animal House? Okay, give me a second. Well, it's what sets that apart is the wackiness, the comedy, the authoritarian comedy behind that, and then you have again an amazing cast with John Belushi. You know, a lot of up and comers in that movie. And,
I feel like this is that, though, in a way, because that was very male centric in a frat house, and this is set in a very female world, which normally you wouldn't think, because it's arm wrestling, and so and it's peppered with these amazing characters.
Right. I mean, this is one of those movies where you're glad it exists, because there's a lot of these supporting comedians, these comedians, actors who have been on the sidelines of films and cameos, 1 and 2, 3-liner roles, and this puts them right in the forefront. Pool is big.
Yeah. Well, I think you like this movie. You didn't love it. You were looking for something more that wasn't there. I certainly didn't struggle with that like you did. I think you gave this movie maybe a 7.
Yeah, and look, the criticism I have is a backhanded compliment. I would say it's a solid 7, and I wanted something that would push it to an 8 or a 9, and I just didn't. I didn't have it. I couldn't pinpoint anything that would push it into that echelon. Okay. But on the other hand, you liked it a lot more than I did. So I'm gonna say you gave it the 8.
Yeah, I did give it the 8. I'm not a repeat watcher for movies, but this is the type of movie that I want to like really call everyone and be like, oh my gosh, you have to watch this. It's original, it's funny, the premise, everything. You feel great at the end. Like, watch this. I'd watch it again. I want to have a movie watch party for this movie. It was just too bad that I had to sit and watch it alone. You know, grab your friends, you know, grab your closest glow group or your closest bridesmaids group or your closest bestest girlfriend and just watch it and you will enjoy it.
Yeah, I watched it, like I said, at South by Southwest last year. That was over a year ago. And when it came out this time around, I had to see it again. I was looking forward to seeing Golden Arm again, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, be sure to like, subscribe, comment below. Tell us what you thought of Golden Arm. And with that, let's get out of here.